boys and girls. Mr. A here. I want to wish you happy Martin Luther King Day. And today I'm going to show you how to draw Dr. King in a real, very easy, simple way. Last week I was teaching my secondary grades, 4th and 5th, how to do a more realistic drawing of Dr. King. So we're going to do that today. And again, happy Martin Luther King Day, and let's get started. First of all, I'm going to use a black marker so you can see what I'm doing. And then what we're going to do, guys, we're going to draw the top of Dr. King's head like this. We'll draw the top of Dr. King's head like that. Now I'm using a marker that's almost run out because I want to draw very lightly. Then we're going to darken it in. So we're going to draw the top of Dr. King's head. We're going to make like a semicircle. Then we're going to make some lines coming down like that. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's ears. An ear on this side. And we're going to draw an ear on this side. So we're doing it very lightly. This is to mimic it very light. Then we're going to draw the rest of Dr. King's face. Now Dr. King had a round face. So we're going to draw his face like that. Almost looks like a short S, like that. Then we're going to draw the rest of his face like that. Okay. Now I'm going to use my other marker just to outline it a little bit. So we got the shape of Dr. King's face. Then we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to make it a little bit darker, and I'm being very sketchy with it. And here's Dr. King's ears on both sides. And here's Dr. King's. Alright, there we go. Now what we're going to do next, guys, we're going to draw Dr. King's eyes and eyebrows. So again, I'm going to use my real thin marker that's almost running out. And what we're going to do, guys, we're going to draw Dr. King's hairline right here. Draw it very lightly, Dr. King's hairline, right there. Draw it very lightly. It's going to come down like right around here. So we're drawing Dr. King's hairline very lightly. We're going to end it around here. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's eyebrows. Here's one eyebrow here. Just doing it very lightly. Then here's another eyebrow right here. They look like little arrows. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's eyes. Very simply. Draw his eyes. Now I'm trying to pretend that I'm using a light pencil, but this is a Sharpie marker that's drying out. Then we're going to come down a little bit right here where his ears are. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's nose. And we're just going to go like this. On this side. And we're going to go right here on this side. Just like that. We're going to go like that. And we're going to go like that. So hopefully you can see that on the camera. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's mouth. So we're going to go like this. It's going to look like a football at first. It's going to be like the size of a football. Just like that. Then we're going to draw his inside of his mouth. And as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. See how it's taking place? Let's stay like that, see? Now we're going to go back with the darker crayon, or the darker marker. We're going to add the details. Here's Dr. King's eyebrows. Dr. King had very, very prominent eyebrows. He's a very serious man. He fought for equal rights for everyone. Black people, Hispanic people, and women. Because women didn't have rights in some parts of the country. And also, if people didn't speak English, they were discriminated against. So he was about equality for everybody. People that spoke Spanish, African Americans, and women. Because sometimes in certain parts of the country, women couldn't go to school. So he made it possible that women can go to school too. So we're going to have him looking this way. Right, there you go. Then we're going to draw Dr. King's nose. Here. 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 Then we're going to draw Dr. King's mouth. See, if you notice over here, it looks like a big M. It looks like the letter M. This looks like a smaller M. Then we're going to go down here like a U. There we go. And then the tricky part is to do Dr. King's mustache. He had what they call a pencil thin mustache. It was very thin. They go down like this. I have a goatee, but Dr. King had a pencil thin mustache. This is what how they wore their mustaches back then. They called it pencil thin. They were thin as a pencil line. Then we go in here, work on his ears. Work on the other part of his ear, right there. And then we just start adding his hair. Now, Dr. King had what they call woolly hair, like most African Americans. It was like wool. It was very curly. But his thing was, no matter what your skin color was or what your hair texture was, you were still a person, regardless of your skin color or your hair texture, or whether you're a boy or a girl. Because everybody was created equal, he believed. He firmly believed that. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to draw his collar, his tie. And what I do is I go like this. It looks like a big M. It looks like a long M for his lapel. Dr. King always wore a suit. Most of the time he wore a suit. And sometimes, gentlemen, boys, sometimes you have to wear a suit too. So, I'm using this with a marker. Now, if you want to use a black crayon, you can use a black crayon. It's fine. Add some details here. Add some details in his cheeks, if you want. Add some details over here. Alright, if you want, you can add some details here. What I like to do, I like to take my pencil, I like to color it in. So what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to shade it in with a pencil, right here. Shade it in with a pencil to give it some depth. Then go in here where his eyes are and shade it in. Then over here as well. But today we celebrate a great man, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, because he fought for equality for all people. Because he believed everyone should be treated equally. He said in his famous I Have a Dream speech, he hoped that one day his children would be judged by their character and not their skin color. Which means he hopes people will be judged by who they are and not what they look like. So when you're at school, guys, and you see somebody being made fun of or being bullied because they have a different skin color, because they don't speak English, you should stand up for that person. Just like Dr. King. Because we're all equal. We're all the same. We might look different on the outside, but deep down inside, we're all the same on the inside. We want to be accepted by people. You want to be loved by people. So remember that, guys. The next time you see somebody being harassed or bullied, okay? So just add some details here. And when you're at school, study the life of Dr. King in social studies. Find out what kind of man he was. Because guess what? If it wasn't for Dr. King, you wouldn't be playing with some of your friends right now. You'd have people of black and white children working differently or going to different schools. You know, some of your friends are of different race. Some of your friends come from families that don't speak English at home. But because of Dr. King, he changed all of that. And you should be very happy for a man like Dr. King. See what I'm doing? I'm shading right here. All right, boys and girls. And what I always like to do on my paper, I always like to put my name on it. Always put your name on the bottom of your work. So over here, let me zoom out. Let me zoom out so you can see. Always write your name on your work. I put Mr. A there. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put MLK. MLK. And if you want to, you can write I have a dream on the side. And then I want you to write down what you want to dream when you grow up. You know, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a little boy, as well as an artist and a race car driver. Always wanted to be an artist, but I wanted to add it with other things. So what I'd like you to do, guys, write I have a dream down here, and then write what you'd like to dream to be when you grow up. Because everybody has a dream. What's your dream, boys and girls? You'd be surprised what you can become. You might even be president one day. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be a nice thing, boys and girls? You become president, then you can make changes in the world and make the world a better place for people. And maybe you can make the same kind of changes that Dr. King made when you become president. All right, boys and girls, there you have it. Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Here's our good buddy Hamlet. Say hi, Hamlet. He's waving hi. He says, I care, right there. And guess what? Dr. King cared because he loved you guys and he wanted people to have a better life. Take care, boys and girls. Bye. And again, have a happy and safe Martin Luther King Day. Ciao.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty.